A student stabbed on campus.
Did you think you were going to die?
Now claims that the school waited to call police.
He was in grave danger. They should have been there.
What happened here at Polytechnic High?
So you think there's an element of cover-up here?
And why weren't police there immediately?
You know, the parents just want some answers. What happened here?
And is on-campus crime now on the rise?
You got stabbed, bro?
Can you just tell us why the crime is up on campus?
Why it's up on campus?
Well, the school police chief does say campus crime is up this year. Just yesterday, 2 students were stabbed in Van Nuys.
And on the very first day of class at yet another LAUSD school, there was another stabbing. And how that one was dealt with is causing some major concern. Well, senior reporter Ross Palumbo is here with that story, and it's one that you will only see on KCAL News. Ross.
Well, Pat and Chauncey, we are talking about a stabbing at Polytechnic Senior High School, and sources tell me that this went unreported for nearly an entire day. Neither school police nor LAPD was called right away. Now tonight, there are serious questions over whether this was some sort of attempt to cover it all up and cover up other campus crimes. And a warning, some of the images you're about to see are difficult. Why didn't you guys call the police?
The principal.
Is there an effort to conceal crime on campuses?
The police chief.
The people you all serve have spoken.
And the politician, all reluctant or refusing to speak. All after this stabbing caught on the first day of class. It's a strike some believe police almost didn't hear of or see. And the strike whistleblowers now say deserves a second serious look.
You believe this was a cover-up?
Yes.
Yes.
The lack of reporting, yes.
Is a cover-up?
Yes.
It began on the first day of class.
You thought you could die?
Yeah. In that moment. Yeah.
That moment arrived.
It is a fight with my friend.
In the middle of this lunchtime brawl at Polytechnic Senior High.
But I defend him.
In the confusion of all this punching and kicking, he was stabbed, again highlighted right here. Moments later, you can see something, what witnesses say was possibly a screwdriver, in the other student's hand.
Where did he hit you?
Here, 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 and 2 here.
But despite 5 stab wounds, one at least 2 inches long, despite it all happening on campus, and despite it all being caught on camera.
Se salvó de milagro que no lo mataran.
It is a miracle that they didn't kill him.
His mother was further hurt, she says, after no one from the school immediately called police.
I was thinking of going to the police station, but I didn't have the name. They didn't want to give me the name. I couldn't do anything, so I had to wait until the next day.
Finally, she says, police were called in nearly 24 hours later.
Are you upset?
I wanted to report it the first day, but they told me that they had to investigate to see which boy it was that was carrying the weapon.
The mom says no one was called immediately.
I'd be outraged. Yeah, horrible.
Even though the victim's injuries were not life-threatening, more than 20 years of school police experience tells Officer Gil Gamez this was deadly serious.
You think this could have been worse?
Of course it could have been worse.
You think this child could have been killed?
Of course they could have been killed.
I don't see any officers in there, do you?
No.
I don't see any adults or supervision.
Correct.
Is that a problem?
Huge problem. I don't know how that school's being ran.
Is there any excuse for this at all?
No, not in my mind.
Any excuse for it not to be reported?
No, not
immediately.
In my mind. Immediately, it should have been reported, yes, because you had a victim of a crime.
I want to ask you about the stabbing that happened here on August 7th.
Polytechnic principal Walter Rich.
I'll have to refer you to operations.
Why didn't you guys call the police right after it happened?
I'll have to refer you to operations.
You don't think it's a safety issue? The police should have been called immediately, sir?
So at this point, I have to ask you to call operations, and I could provide that number for you.
Well, we have the number, but the parents want to know from you why it is that a child was stabbed and you didn't call police immediately.
Again, we'll have to call operations. I have no comment at this time.
Our call to LAUSD was not immediately returned.
So you think there's an element of cover-up here?
100%.
You think it was intentional?
The lack of reporting, yes.
And LAUSD's reporting of public information has been generally lacking, too. It took us months to uncover this data from 2021 through December 22, showing 6 assaults with a deadly weapon, 8 batteries, and 2 fighting calls, all at Polytechnic Senior High. Now, more than a year later, the district has failed to produce the complete records of those incidents. Even after our attorney pointed out LAUSD completely ignored its own deadline, the district responded by just giving us a new, even later deadline.
We've requested these numbers from the district and they've not given them to us.
It's an issue we brought up to Superintendent Alberto Carvalho on other requests.
Anything that's publicly available should be made.
But again, the district hasn't released LAUSD's current crime data that we've requested nearly 2 months ago. And this time, Carvalho won't speak about it.
Due to violent crimes.
We do now know from new public statements that on-campus crime has nearly doubled.
Actually, it's pretty significant, almost a 200% increase in crimes on campus.
The police chief had little to say on campus crime rising.
Do we talk about your report that you just did about the crime stats?
Not right now.
And he had little time to speak about allegations of a cover-up.
Is there an effort to conceal crime on campuses? Do you believe that's happening?
A student was stabbed with a screwdriver and police weren't called for at least 24 hours.
I'm aware of an incident that happened on that campus.
At Polytechnic.
I am not privy to how long it took in the call.
More than 24 hours. Should they be calling?
I'm sure that if that was the case, if it is the case, that will be handled by school administration for the proper training.
Is that concerning to you?
I think it should be concerning for anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah.
We welcome your co-sponsorship.
Including perhaps school board member Kelly Gamez. In just the past few months, we've uncovered this brutal fight right in front of a teacher.
We were on lockdown. We had to rush into a room.
A shooting allegedly targeting a student near campus. And we've seen this bloody stabbing. All in her district. In fact, during the first months of this school year, LAUSD's own numbers show her district has had the most fighting and physical aggression with 118 incidents.
I'm not supportive of the ability of schools to be able to opt in to have a police presence on campus.
This coming after Gamez helped defund school police, cutting its budget nearly 20% and its officers by 33%.
This is a direct result because of this.
You think we have a huge safety issue now?
Correct.
You think defunding is to blame?
100%.
And now you think that there are cover-ups happening?
The lack of reporting is a cover-up, yes.
A kid got stabbed in Grant High School, Ms. Gamez.
Gamez has appeared to have difficulty even acknowledging the problem with parents.
And high school children are getting stabbed in Ms. Kelly Gamez's district. It is true. Grant, yes, it is true, Ms. Gamez.
Very much for your time.
Is she avoiding him?
I didn't want to speak to you either, but I'm a protector of students and a protector of the staff that protects students. I'm coming here trying to help solve a problem, trying to protect children.
Parents now want more help to protect their children, to solve this problem.
I was worried, and I'm still worried for his security.
An equation with new math and better police proportions.
They should have been there.
And the children themselves.
I don't like the school. It's not safety.
They now simply want the adults to learn their lesson.
School board members that voted to remove the police, what do you say to them?
Yeah, that I want the police to come back because that's not safety.
Well, the police union that Officer Gil Gamez speaks for does advocate for officers to be back on campus permanently. They believe this stabbing may have been prevented or could have at least been mitigated if there was an officer there at that school at the time. We gave Chief Zipperman, Superintendent Alberto Carvalho, board member Kelly Gamez, and the entire district several opportunities over weeks to speak with us. None of them would sit down and answer our questions or answer parental concerns that still exist on the school district properties. LAUSD spokesperson Shannon Haber did send us a vague statement about how the district takes, quote, immediate steps to address incidents, but did not answer any of our specific questions. And you can read that full statement at KCALnews.com. Again, just yesterday, 2 students were stabbed at Van Nuys High School. Now, the superintendent was out there and he did say that schools can now temporarily request police presence, but the union says they could always temporarily request a presence. They say that's nothing new, and they say this certainly does not solve this very serious problem that, again, the school district will not speak about.
Well, that's an eye-opening report, and we will see what happens. Temporary request to something that seems to be pretty permanent right now, so we'll see what happens. But thanks for at least shining a light on it, and I'm sure they're going to hear more from parents, the school board for sure.
Parents want their kids to be safe. It's that simple.
All right.
Thanks.